Hey guys, well today I went to see the newly released film It. So here I am to give you my review of cinema's latest offering of the horror genre. So check it out. Firstly, the plot. Now to me the plot flowed really well. There was good pace. It delivered scare after scare. There was no holes or anything. But to me what I find interesting was there was a balance in the story. It was a mixture between a horror film and a pre-teen comedy. Like, I mean, the horror element of Pennywise, the missing kids, then the pre-teen comedy, you know, the kids just going about their business, you know, Ben and Bill noticing Beverly as a girl and just all sort of thing. But to me, the horror element was much more dominating, and to me that was brilliant. It's a horror film. It's not a teen comedy, it is a horror film. And to me, I just thought that element was much more present, and that kept me happy. You also had, because this is the first part of it, you still have the second part to come. It was about the coming together of the Losers Club, of everyone, of Stan, Bill, Beverly, Ben, Richie, and well, basically everyone. But you had them all coming together despite the odds, and how they unify, how they all became united. It's sort of, you had each one of them coming together. You had start off with Stan and Bill and all, then you had Ben joining the group, then you had Michael join the group. So it was really it was all about them coming together and becoming good friends, and I really liked that element of friendship, and I really think that was brilliant. And also this plot, because as I said, this is the first part of it, you still have the second one, this is the build-up throughout the film. The first film, this was the build-up to the first confrontation with Pennywise. You had them, you know, they all saw Pennywise in different forms, they knew there was something wrong. They knew it was killing kids, so they were all preparing themselves. They wanted to make it pay for what it was doing to Derry. So it was a build-up to their first full-on confrontation with this monster. And I really liked that build-up. Good sense of tension as they all prepared themselves too. You had the first sort of confrontation in the house. Then you near them falling apart. Then they came together again, and they just went for Pennywise. The build-up to the first battle, I think, was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. So overall, I think the plot was delivered really well. There were no holes, and there was build-ups and scares all the way around. Now, in terms of the cast, there were two performances which I really liked. Now, the first one, now I think you can guess who I'm going to say here, was Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. I think he delivered a brilliantly evil, malevolent Pennywise the Dancing Clown. I think he just did the role great justice. Throughout the film, from the minute you see him appear in the gutter, there's just such a sense of darkness and malevolence, and that smile on his face, that evil smile, it never leaves his face. He's just standing there with that big smile, ready to kill you. Every scene, he either kills or he scares, and it's without mercy. And he showed all of the characters their worst fears. He showed them the leper and everything else, and the dead children and all, and everything else, and Georgie, all the thing, he threw every bit of darkness he had at them, and I thought he just did that so well. Bill Skarsgård really delivered a brilliant Pennywise. Two highlight scenes for me of Pennywise were the first scene with the gutter in Georgia. You've only just met him, but you know there's something evil about him. I love the way in that film he's covered in shadow. He's covered in shadow throughout. He's bathed in darkness. You sort of see the eyes and the face and that smile, and you know he was just so malevolent. And then when he appeared in the screening, when they had the screen on, when he appeared through the screen, one minute he's there, then the next minute he's giantly filling the whole room, and it was just so brilliant. I think Bill Skarsgård did the role absolute justice. He was a brilliant Pennywise. The second performance I really liked was Jaden Lieber as Bill. Now, from reading the book and watching the 1990 version, I always got the feeling out of all the losers, maybe Bill is the main character, because when you think about it, he has a lot more reason than anyone to want to destroy Pennywise, because Pennywise killed his little brother. So he's real reason to want to destroy Pennywise. But one of the things in his character is that you notice, and you really empathise with him, as he carries a lot of guilt, because he was the one who made the boat and let Georgie go out into the weather. So he carries a lot of guilt around, and we really empathise with him. So throughout the film, he tries to put on a brave face, but the guilt that he feels is eating him up, and he just feels that he's partly responsible for what's happened to Georgie. And the whole point of the Losers Club is that they're young people who are socially excluded for different reasons, because they're not cool or good looking or all that. But out of all of them, Bill is the one who feels the most invisible, not just in school, but by his own family, because they are just so distraught by what's happened to Georgie. He just disappears. He's not visible to them at all. And that really, really makes it really broke my heart for the character. Like, I mean, he just feels so invisible, so unwanted and alone. Like, it's just really unfair the way he's made. Like, I mean, the scene with his father at the start, where the father just constantly buffs him, like, it was just so awful. And one thing is, he's the leader. He's the driving force of uniting the Losers Club, that Losers Club. That's what I like. That's one of the main things I liked about him. He was the driving force of the Losers Club. Even when everyone became scattered towards the end, he brought them all together again to go rescue Beverly, and I really thought that was brilliant. Okay. And then when he finally breaks down at the end, he finally gets that closure, because even though we know Georgie's dead, he still thinks there's a chance that Georgie is alive. So in that scene where he breaks down, where he finds Georgie's yellow raincoat in the sewers, and he just breaks down, and he's comforted by everyone. He's finally getting that closure. He's finally able to. He knows what's happened to his little brother. He's finally able to find closure for what's happened, and we really empathise with him there. So overall, I think Jaden Lieber was a brilliant Bill. He was definitely him and Pennywise were my two favourite characters. For my closing remarks, another thing I loved about the film was the cinematography and the visual side. I think that was delivered so brilliantly. And to me, like, whenever you see the exterior of Derry, it's a bright sunshine. It's supposed to be this lovely main town where you can go. It's a lovely place to go, but underneath it's just got a rotten beating heart. It's a complete infestation of darkness. It's a place of evil. And you especially get that in senses like places like the sewers and the old house where they go to confront Pennywise. So you definitely get. So I think the cinematography, especially the scenes in the old house with the creepy clown dolls and all, I think that's absolutely brilliant. And the sewer scenes, they were done so well. Like, I think they brought these locations to life very well. Stephen King said he loved the film, and I can definitely say I loved it too. I think it was a brilliant adaptation. And I'm really excited now for part 2 to see what they're going to bring to that. So it's definitely going to be very exciting to see what they bring to part 2. When will part 2 be released, I wonder? I'd say it could be maybe 2 years or something. I don't know if they even started making that part yet. But I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing it. So overall, I really enjoyed the film. It was a great watch. I'm definitely going to see it again. So guys, thanks for checking out my review of it. And stay tuned for any other vlogs I have coming up in the future. Bye!